here, and that's it. The towel comes in.
When you're blowing guys away, people are telling you how great you are. You can believe your own hype, but that's why I try to stay away from that. The support is great, don't get me wrong, but within myself I have to be understanding that I've got a long way to go. Debut in London, I had a great like 8 to 10 weeks to train. So I just trained. I couldn't wait for the bout because I knew that the training was going to be much harder than 6 rounds of boxing. So I was looking forward to the fight. And what else made it special is that I had my cousin boxing on the event as well. So he went out first and he got the second round stoppage. And I think that took a lot of pressure off me because I thought, wow, he's done it. He's gone out, dealt with the pressure and got the victory. So I said, no, it's my turn to follow in his footsteps. So that was a great thing. And I went out, I see everyone, you know, my family, my friends. It was in London, local, and I got the win, the first round stoppage. That was great. Getting in there with Paul Butlin, I had to be clever. I had to think about his experience, and I know I'm experienced. I've been training for 5 years solidly, and I went in and I stayed composed, and I got the stoppage. He said Olympic gold medalist puts pressure on myself, but it shows what I can achieve. And if I take that mentality as an amateur, what got me to qualify, what got me through the Olympics as a pro now, I think it will do me great justice. And as a pro, I still have a lot to work on. And even through the amateurs, you know, I've just taken some of the foundations I learnt there through to the pro game. And we'll see what happens in the next year or two, I'd say 2014, 2015. It's all about the long run. You know, I had a good start. I want to leave out with respect. The main thing is I get some respect, and I walk down the street and people are happy with what I've done for them and their country.
Glenn, early days so far, but so far so good. Is Anthony Joshua looking the part?
Johnny, on the night when we've been entertained by fighters and heavyweights from the past, now we're going to see the future, because I haven't been excited about any heavyweight with as much potential since Lennox Lewis. That's how good I think he could be.
David Price, have you sparred with him?
I have sparred with him before the Olympics, yeah.
What did you make of him then?
I could tell even then he had something. He's talented, athletic. He's ticking all the boxes without a doubt. You know, he's going to go a long way.
He's treading the same path you've taken. What advice would you give him?
My advice would be to, you know, keep his feet on the ground, which he seems to be able to do pretty well, and just take each fight as it comes. Don't look too far ahead. Take you know, one step at a time.
Larry, you learnt your craft sparring with the best in the world, Muhammad Ali. What advice would you give this young man?
First thing I want to say is I want to thank Sky Television here for having me here and let me be a part of you guys.
You stayed up well.
I think you guys have been great, and I really love it. I'm glad I got the opportunity. Muhammad Ali was my buddy. I mean, I worked for him for 4 years as a sparring partner. I learned everything that he knew. And it was come down to me fighting him at something that I didn't want to do because we became very good friends. But we did what we had to do. I knew how much that I can do to him, what I shouldn't do for him. So I did what I had to do, win. I won the fight, referee stopped it, and we're still friends to this day.
So listen, your advice is listen, watch, and learn. For Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, but don't take any chances. I mean, you know, you out here in this ring, you're fighting for everything that you want in life. So you got to go out there and do it. I knew what I had in front of me. I knew what I could do and what I didn't have to do. So I just did what I had to do and let it be.
Okay, let's say our man in action. To the MC, John McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue the journey. Please welcome to the ring, AJ Anthony Joshua!
Massive expectations surrounding everything Anthony Joshua does. But you probably just heard in that interview, and I've met him and I know you have, Jim, the things that impress you about him are his temperament, his poise. He does all the right things outside of the ring, and so far he's certainly done everything absolutely spot on in the ring as well. A future star, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and a lovely personality to go with. I think he's really going to become a popular athlete in Britain. I think people are going to appreciate him as a person as well as a heavyweight boxer. But I'm surprised how quickly he's transferred over to the pro game. I think he's developing a terrific professional style. I've been surprised at the speed of his punches. His technique as an amateur was good. It'll get even better. We realise it'll be a little while before he's really tested as a professional. So at this stage, we can just enjoy what he's doing and enjoy being part of the whole thing, because he has a huge future ahead of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport now proudly present 6 rounds in the heavyweight division, sponsored by 888 Casino and Lonsdale and SportsDirect.com. We are live on Sky Sports, and you join us as we continue the journey. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red and white trunks and weighing in at 15 stone, 9 pounds, 9 ounces, taking part in his 12th professional contest from Croatia, Hrvoje Kisicek. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold, weighing in at 16 stone and 5 pounds. He is undefeated. 2 contests, 2 wins, both inside the scheduled distance. He comes to the ring as the 2-time ABA champion. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Olympic gold medal. And ladies and gentlemen, the holder of the MBE. Ladies and gentlemen, from Watford, England, AJ Anthony Joshua! Time to get the penalties. Bob Edgeworth, and our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Marcus McDonald. This is 6 3-minute rounds.
Right, boys, you both know the rules of boxing. That's Spaintown. One field will say it. Bang most at all times. Watch your heads, keep it clean. Any questions? Let's go to work.
6 rounds, it's down 4. But if you saw him on his debut on October the 5th, you'll know he beat Emanuele Leo, an 8-0 Italian, inside a round. Then at the end of October in Sheffield, the veteran, the vastly experienced Paul Butlin, got rid of him in 2 rounds. Now it's the turn of Hrvoje Kisicek from Croatia, whose main credentials seem to be that he went the full 6 rounds with Hughie Fury in Leicester a few weeks ago. And if he's going to get tagged by jabs like that, the very first jab that Joshua threw, it might be another short night. And he's rocked him already.
Kisicek does look a little bit fleshy. He doesn't look in the best of shape, and he won't be able to take too many of these jabs. These are solid, well-delivered punches.
And he's dwarfed by Joshua as well. And he looks 2 divisions lighter. Just charged in, head down there, picked up an uppercut for his pains. Giving it a go. He must have something about him to go 6 with Hughie Fury, who knows how to have a bit of a tear-up.
And that was a lovely little left hook clip from Joshua as he moved out of range. That was clever. That's lovely body shot.
Yeah, picking his shots very nicely. Against an opponent who's got a bit of willing about him, but doesn't seem to have an awful lot of technique. It's just looking for the opening, probe away, and then detonate. Got him high with a left hook there. Again, Kisicek sort of pushes his way in.
I mean, I think Josh has learned already that Kisicek really has nothing to trouble him, but he's not doing anything silly, not taking punches he doesn't have to take. Nice little half steps back as Kisicek comes forward, so he's boxing nicely, just putting on a bit of a show at the moment.
Catching him with a couple of right hands. He's reddening up around the eye as well. The right eye, Kisicek. Dug his body shot there. Following upstairs as well, and already it's looking like it could be the end very soon. Marcus McDonald had a little look there. And we've still got a minute left of this opening session. And he just backs off, regroups, takes his time, shows some patience.
And that was a terrific bust of punches, just perfectly balanced as he let the combination go. Working the body now, a real good pro technique that he's developing. Okay, there's not an awful lot in front of him, but when you just look at Josh, I see the way he's developing. Terrific.
That left hook to the body was a sickener, it really was. He's done well to stand up to this. Kisicek taking a big right hand over the top. 30 seconds just under left in the round. Not sweating yet, Joshua. Totally composed in there. I'll give him his due, Jim. He's bringing what he's got, even if it isn't an awful lot.
Yeah, these are just kind of little swatting punches. There's nothing behind them at all. But I'm impressed the fact that Joshua doesn't take them. You know, he's concentrating, but did what he liked in the opener.
This is going to be a painful night's work for this fella, Hrvoje Kisicek. Boasts a record of 5 and 6. Well, I think we're going to make that 5 and 7 after this.
No, but there was a couple of impressive little clips coming from Joshua. I saw him moving back and clipping a left hook over. Then a terrific burst of punches. Just coming from perfect balance. Just that's where punching power comes from. The balance and the transferring of the weight. But look at that. Kisicek, no answer to the volume and the speed of the punches coming towards him. Smooth boxing from Joshua.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Just watch when he swings in. Just move your feet round, all right? Yes.
The calm voice of Tony Sims in the corner. Just keeping it nice and tight. And this is the point that we've got to re-emphasise with Anthony Joshua. We're not going to go overboard if he gets rid of this fella in a hurry, but it's how does he do it? That's what we're looking at. Does he make mistakes? Does he learn from those mistakes? Does he take his time? Does he measure his work?
I mean, there was that little left hook as he backed off. I mean, that really is clever stuff for a young pro at this stage of his career.
With a right-hand counter, he took it well. Going to take a lot more here as well as he starts to open up, then holds. That was a hurtful right hand.
Yeah, you get the impression if Joshua decides to stick with an attack that he can get him out of there pretty much any time he likes. He's showing patience, he's putting on a show. I think he realises the man in front of him poses no threat. So I think he's just enjoying himself a little while here. Then a little step back for no reason. Yep, he's in no hurry.
Oh, that might be the end of that. A really sharp, hurtful combination. He's up at 4. The legs look okay. So Marcus McDonald looks like he's going to give him another chance. And he is. But that was clinical. That was brutal, that. Kisicek just lunges in. You've got to credit his bravery, but he's getting pounding in there, and that's that. No, it's been stopped. All over. Kisicek wanted to go on. But all the damage was done by that brutal combination that put the Croatian on the floor. He's still complaining. He still wants to go on, but I think he's been spared because he was going to get hurt if he'd carry on. He's got a big heart, this fella, but that's all he had.
Well, when a fight ceases to become competitive, especially in the heavyweight division, then I think it's time for the referee to step in, put an end to it. Kisicek was brave, he wanted to carry on, he came here to put up a show, to earn his money, but he'd done that already. He has a claim at the moment that the fight was stopped a little bit quicker than it should have been, but no one's complaining except for Kisicek, because it was hurtful punches he was taking. He had no answer. You know, it was like a fly swatter coming back at Joshua. Joshua was doing whatever he pleased, whenever he pleased, and it was a good performance from Joshua and a good shout by the referee.
Got up quickly from it, but more of the same was coming. But yeah, it was ruthless, so efficient. There's that knockdown once again. 3 nasty punches.
Yeah, the way he worked the body was impressive too. The balance that he has and the way he can get punches, put punches together. He has natural power. He doesn't have to wind up the punches. So it was just this, turning out to be a real painful night for Kisicek, which was only going to become more and more painful. So glad it didn't go on too much longer. Excellent performance again from Joshua, and we'll be seeing him again in just over a week, I'm sure.
Well, all he can do is stop what they put in front of him, and he's done it very efficiently for the 3rd time in his fledgling career. I wonder what David Price, a potential future opponent, made of that. I wonder what the great Larry Holmes made of that as well. 3 in quick succession for Anthony Joshua.
Ladies and gentlemen, timekeeper Bob Edgeworth has recorded a time of 1 minute and 38 seconds of the second round. Referee Marcus McDonald has stopped this contest with Kisicek in no position to continue. Therefore, your winner and still undefeated from Watford, England, AJ Anthony Joshua!
Yeah, the man with the golden touch does it again. I remember Lennox Lewis boxing in this ring many years ago against Noel Corliss. And I wonder if we're looking tonight at a young man that might just follow in Lennox Lewis's footsteps. Early days, Jim, but the signs so far very encouraging. Yeah, the improvements he's made in such a short time from his amateur career. I know most of the work is done in the gymnasiums. The fights that he's been involved in, we know before the start he's going to dominate. But you can see the improvement, and you can see definitely it looks like a special talent.
Well, Anthony, another stoppage win. How do you feel you look tonight?
I worked on a few things in there. I knew he was cagey, and he was very awkward, and he's a very durable opponent. So I wanted to work into the way I was going to start my boxing. So I started off calm, and I built into the round. And what I was planning on doing came a bit earlier as I got the first round. As I dropped him, and then I went in for the kill to take him out.
You look more relaxed, like you've relaxed your shoulders a bit. Is that a conscious decision?
Yeah, as I said, a lot of things that we've been working on in the gym. It's so important to take it into the ring, and that's what we're trying to do at the minute. It's early doors, but you know, as the fights go on, you'll start seeing new things and new tricks.
Do you think you impressed Larry Holmes at ringside?
I don't think I used my jab enough. You know what? Having such a legend sitting ringside, you know, consciously, I'm thinking, Larry Holmes is at the edge of the ring. Let me pop my jab more, but I got to stay focused, and as long as I get the job done, that's the main thing.
And obviously you're staying busy. Do you think you'll still be able to box in 9 days' time?
Yeah, next weekend I'll be in Manchester competing again, and I've got to just tone it down a bit, let my body rest once again. And I've really got to get up for the fight in Manchester, because whoever it is, it's going to be tough. And then hopefully I'll win that. You know, I've got a really tough opponent come December as well. So
Dorian Darch on December the 14th.
Yeah, Dorian Darch is a tough opponent in his game. You know, he said some things that he's coming to win, so I really got to pick my spirits up and hopefully get the job done in good fashion once again.
You're being very busy, a very active fighter, which is obviously great for any young heavyweight, but are you getting the chance to work on new things in the gym as well, because the fights are coming thick and fast?
They come thick and fast, as I said. It'll be great the time when I can have 2 months to prepare for an opponent, look at his weaknesses, and I can really study him and try new things. But at the minute, I had 14 months off, I learned a lot, and I'm just trying to shove everything into these next couple fights, you know. I'm hoping people can see improvements, and that's what it's about. It's about a journey, a long-term journey, and it's about step-by-step improving bit by bit. So as long as my coach is seeing that, I'm happy.
Promoter Eddie Hearn, how excited are you by the way Anthony's developing?
Oh, hugely. You know, that's 3 fights in 6 weeks, and again, the good news for fight fans is the hands are good. He'll be in Manchester at the Phones View Arena on the Froch Groves card next week. It's all about progression. You know, different kind of opponents at different times. I think he's had his first little mini apprenticeship now. That's 3 fights. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're as good as Anthony Joshua, it's got to be stepped up accordingly. So each individual step, obviously you said Dorian Darch is a really good fight for him on December the 14th, and hopefully a tough fight next weekend as well. Things look great. Tremendous hand speed. You know, he's the real deal, and it's going to be a great journey, and step by step, it'll be five fights in 7 weeks. So keep him busy, keep him learning, and just enjoy the ride.
How fast do you think you can move him?
I think quicker than first anticipated. You know, we'll be driven by his training team. We want to do it in phases. This is a 5-fight phase over a period of about 7 or 8 weeks, and after that we'll evaluate the situation. But at the moment he's moving like a steam train, and I can't see a lot of people stopping him.
Anthony, are you enjoying the ride at the moment?
Yeah, it's early days, and you know, we're off to a good start, and it's about keeping that momentum.
Well done.
Larry Holmes, you read, assessed, and predicted the fight so well ringside. What was you impressed with what you saw there?
Yeah, I was very impressed. I seen some things that he needs to do, and I think he can get it done. I don't agree with everything his trainer or the manager said, because you don't want to leave it all in the gym. You don't want to rush a fighter right back into another fight. Let his body heal, let his mind heal. Because a lot of fighters get hurt because when they get back into another fight, they get out another fight, get a body a chance to rest, and then he'll become good. Because you can't fight weak. You can fight strong. Once you got energy, you can fight. But if you burn it up out in the street, in the gym, you ain't going to have nothing left. You're not going to make it. So I would say reserve all of that, like I did. I had 38 years of boxing. When I finished fighting, you know what I mean? I didn't rush back into the fight. I waited, 2-3 months before I got into another fight, And this is what you got to do. Let that body heal, let that mind heal, and don't take any shots upside the head.
David Price, are you impressed with his jab? Impressed with what you saw?
I'm impressed with his jab. It's a solid jab, but he gets a long jab out, full extension of jab, and used his left hook a little bit more tonight on the back foot. And even when he sensed that he had his opponent hurt, he was taking a little step back and, regrouping, and he took his time, he was patient, and it was impressive again.
Then towards the end, we saw a little bit of a mean streak that we've been wishing for in Anthony Joshua.
I think it's always there. I was lucky enough to be sitting ringside getting blow-by-blow commentary off Larry Holmes. So I think if he was excited enough to do that, we've obviously got a prospect on our hands. And, what I liked about Anthony was everything. Larry was saying to me that he's thrown his jab and his right hand good, but he needs a bit more meat into them, a bit more snap, a little bit more fire into each and every punch, a little more grit and determination with everything he does.
Talking about meeting a hero, Anthony Joshua with Michael Watson talking. Michael Watson, clearly impressed to come and sit down and talk this young man through what he's done.
So many people are excited about Anthony Joshua. I think he's captivating the country as he did in the Olympic Games, winning the gold medal, and I think that's going to come through, and he's just going to get more and more popular, and he's going to get better and better.
Is matchmaking important for this young man?
He's going to get better. He made a very big impression on all the people in here, including myself. He just got to take his time and learn it. Learn it hard, learn it real. I mean, when you hit somebody with that jab, you want them to feel it. You don't want a person to run in and, he got a jab, he just slapping it. And he just walked through it, you know what I mean? When they feel that jab, they're going to think twice before they want to get hit again with it. I mean, the guy got a lot of potential, and I just hope that they don't burn him out, and I hope that they're not afraid to pick up the phone and call me and ask me a question, because I would definitely tell them, because I want a young man to come out. I want a young man to win. And if you burn him out, it's your fault that he ain't making it. Because he got all the potential. There's nobody out there. Who you got? The Klitschko brother. We don't have nobody in America. You ain't got nobody in there to fight anymore. You got a good heavyweight like I've been trying to get. You got it made.
David Price has had three professional fights, but 5 professional rounds. Do you think they're moving him on right? They're doing the right thing with him? Should he get some rounds under his belt?
Yeah, they probably will need rounds at some point, but who's going to give him them at that level? You've got to ask, that lad took Hughie Fury a 6-round fight, and Hughie Fury's an impressive prospect himself, and he just blew him out today. So, you've got to step him up accordingly. It's important not to rush. You've got to step him up accordingly.
You mentioned about fighting next week. Right time?
Well, I think at this sort of level, he can fight regular. When he steps up a little bit, when he starts to get in like top 10 British class, then they take a little bit, he wants 2 months to prepare. He wants to weigh up his opponent. He wants to do it right. And Larry spent 4 years sparring with Muhammad Ali. So that shows you, you've got to, he then became one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. But, to do that, it's all about learning. It's all about building up your education. It's all about sparring with different fighters in different gyms and learning all the time.
Wow. Very impressive, Anthony Joshua. But it's a prize fight to final leg. Who will prevail? The USA or the UK?